Hi guys, so if you have just came from my Ariel tutorial, this is part 2 and we are doing Flounder.
This crazy thing.
So this tutorial really is about painting small because I haven't left much room for Flounder, as you can see, and these nails are already tiny. So we will be using my brand new Vibrant Vibes gel collection. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. This is available right now. So run, don't walk, because I don't know if they're going to be sold out by the time we get there. I'm sorry if they are. So there are 9 stunning shades, and I do have a swatch video if you want to go and see them up close and personal. But yeah, look at that. And this is my pinky palette, by the way, guys. This is also available, and it is just great for storing your paints. It also means you're not opening your gel paints as much, so say goodbye to the mess. Hello, pinky palette. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just get all of my paints out, and I don't need a lot because I'm doing such a small Flounder. So I'm literally just going to lay down all the colors that I can see on Flounder. Obviously, he has white in his eyes, he's yellow, he's blue, etc. And like, this would have probably taken me a good 5 minutes if I was to get the paint out of my gel paint pots. But look how quick it is with this palette. Like, I'm never going back. And you know how important it is to keep your gel paints clean for content? Because that really does matter. So yeah, this is a bonus. So as you can see, I've got pretty much nearly all of the colors in the palette. And I'm also going to take some black and some white because I literally use them for every single set I do. The black and white are also available from my store. They're called Black Paws and White Mittens, and you can get them as a duo too. Okay, so let's zoom in and take a look at this. As you can see, I've already matte top coated the end nail because I had so much paint on there and I just wanted a smooth surface to paint on. So I'm gonna start with my She's So Fine number 9. This is a delightful little brush and a must-have for your nail art. So we're going to be starting with White Mittens. Now this is a full coverage high pigmented white, and I'm actually going to be painting Flounder with this first. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going on top of a medium to dark blue base, and even though it will cover it, it's going to create a duller color than what I want. So I'm going to lay this down first, and then I'm going to go in with my yellow on top, and it's going to really show the proper color. And I almost forgot to put Flounder up, so here he is. So what I'm actually doing now is a method called color blocking, and I am literally painting that whole yellow area. I'm forgetting about the detail inside and outside because I'm working with such a small space. So if I were to try and draw these eyes and the mouth and the nose and everything first, it's just going to be really hard to color in, come back in and do all the details again. So I think this method is personally best when you're doing miniature art. So I'm just kind of creating that fish shape plus the kind of curved snout cheek. I don't even know at this point. But yeah, that's the kind of shape I'm going for. And once I've got that, I can just go ahead and color the whole thing in with White Mittens. So I'm really trying to make sure that this gel paint is nice and thin because it is highly pigmented. I don't want it to crinkle in the lamp. So I am just literally spreading it all out so it's nice and smooth. Now, before I cure, I'm just going to check the shape. And I think I actually want to enlarge the head area a little bit now. So I'm going to do that while it's all still wet so it can just kind of all merge together. So this is a bumblebee. It's such a pretty summery yellow and it is just perfect for flounder. I'm just going to give my brush a little wipe with my brand new lint-free nail wipes, which are also available. And they come in a big pack of 540, I think. Yep, 540. So yeah, you get a lot. Okay, so now I've got my shape of flounder. I'm just going to take bumblebee. Oh, I'm sorry, but look at that color. Can you see how bright it is? And this is why I lay down the white base first. It just makes it pop even more. Now, one of the things I love about gel paints is, look, it's just not moving. And people always say to me, can I do nail art with gel polish? Now, you absolutely can, but gel polish is a lot more runnier. So this is going to have spread out quite a bit by now already, which is why gel paints are just a must for character and fine detail nail art. Okay, so once that's cured, I've just popped it in my lamp for 30 seconds. We are going to go in with Blueberry Punch. And I'm just going to start to put those stripes in. So if you look at the biggest stripe, it actually starts probably in the center of flounder. So I've just marked that and then I've just pulled my line out ever so slightly. So it's at a slight diagonal. Now with my brush, I've dipped it in the gel paint quite a bit. So I've got a nice bead on the end. And then I'm literally going to pull the stripe backwards. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me that soft round edge at the bottom of that stripe. And once you have got the outside shape, you can just go ahead and paint that in and then do the other 4 stripes. So as you can see, his dorsal fin is slightly lighter. So I'm just going to take some of White Mittens and mix it with Blueberry Punch. And it's just going to give me a lighter blue. Oh, and look at that. How well these blend is just the best. Now what I like to do is actually find like the easiest thing to start with. So for me, it's just that line on the top of Flounder's back. So I'm just going to start at the bottom of his tail and I'm going to follow that line all the way up to the top. And when you reach the top, you're going to slightly bring that line down because you can see his hair is actually in the middle of his head. And from there, I'm going to do a very small C-shape flick and it's just going to give me his hair. I'm going to do that 3 times. And then for the top one, we're just going to kind of go more straight. And once you're happy with those, you can literally take the top one and follow that curved line all the way down to the bottom of the tail. Just like that. And then you can colour the dorsal fin in. I'm going to use the same shade for his fins. Now, these are pretty easy to do. You just kind of want to do a curve flick on the right, a curve flick on the left, and then just kind of fill it in. Most of mine's cut off on this side, but it's still worth adding in the detail, you know. And then for the other side, you kind of want to go over the yellow slightly, so it looks like it is actually coming from his body, not just floating outside of it. Now, using the same method that I used for those stripes, I'm going to actually create those soft curves at the bottom of his fins by using my brush, almost like a dotting tool, and then pulling it back towards the point. I find this is a lot easier than actually trying to paint the curve with the nib of your brush. Okay, so we're going back to Blueberry Punch and we're just going to put in those stripes on the dorsal fin, and we're also going to add them to the small fins as well. You guys, I cannot with this orange. Look at that. I just painted a Finding Nemo set with this orange and it's just the star of the show. Please go and check it out. So I'm actually going to be using this to do Flounder's outline, and I'm just kind of making a brown with it by adding a bit of yellow and a hint of black. I don't want to go in with black because it's going to be too harsh, and if you look very closely at Flounder, it is more like an orangey brown colour. Okay, so I've loaded up my brush, not too much on the brush because I really want to do thin lines. I'm still using my She's Sewn Fine brush for this too. And I'm just going to start to put all of those details in. And just kind of doing really soft, thin, wispy strokes. And if you're wondering what that noise is, it's the willow tree above my roof because I am currently sat in my little working shed. You're welcome. Okay, so if you do that chin line, the mouth will literally be the same shape. So just literally leave a space and copy that line. And above that, we're going to do a wider curve. And we're going to almost like we're creating a big oval. And we're going to create that long curved nose. So this is the part I like when it actually starts to look like flounder. Color blocking is not my favorite when there's no details. I'm like, what is this? So yeah, I'm always like a little bit relieved when you put the details back in and it actually looks like who it's supposed to. Now there are some of these lines that are probably a little bit thick and probably a little bit long, but just for a minute I'm going to continue painting and then I'm going to come back in a minute with my cleaning brush. And we're just going to adjust all of that before we cure it. So this is my squeaky clean brush and you just dip it in a small amount of 70% alcohol and yeah, it just wipes it all away. It's just really good if you want to like adjust lines as well. You can just kind of push them rather than wash them completely off. You can almost like manipulate them over. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I've just give that a really quick flash cure and now I'm going to come in with white paws and I'm going to paint in his eyes. Now I'm not going to bother curing because I am now going to be painting his tongue with strawberry jam and those colours are not meeting. They're not going to move because they're gel paint, so I don't have to cure in between as of yet. In fact, I want to show you how good these paints are because I'm not going to cure this tongue and I'm actually going to paint the other colour inside the mouth without curing and just show you how good they are. So as you can see, I'm adding I kind of mixed black with red. So I've got like a really, really dark red. And I'm just going to paint inside the mouth and go around the tongue. And literally the paints just won't move. It's so good for doing characters. I absolutely love it. It just saves you back and forth, back and forth. And look at that. Perfect. So if I was to have used, for example, gel polish, these would have definitely bled, merged, and yeah, it would be a whole mess right now. So this little beautiful green is called Shamrock, and I think this is just going to be perfect for Flounder's eyes. Oh yes, that is gorgeous, especially on top of that white. That is everything. Now I have changed the position of Flounder's eyes because I actually wanted him to be looking at Ariel. You could have his eyes any direction you wanted, but yeah, I just wanted to point them down a little bit more. So he's staring at his best friend. Okay, so I'm done with colour blocking. Now he's going to be a bit lumpy, a bit bumpy. So just to kind of make everything really smooth before I do the outline, I'm just going to matte top coat. And yes, I just matte top coated straight on top of these paints. Voila. Okay, so now I'm going to take that browny orangey colour that I made earlier and I'm going to go over all of those details again. I'm just going to be a little bit more precise. I'm also going to use that same shade and go around the outside of Flounder, but only on the yellow parts. We're going to use a different colour for his dorsal fin and fins. Okay, everything looks good. So now I'm going to go in with my black paws and we're going to pop in his pupils. I think that's the only area that is black. Let me just check. Oh, and his eyelashes, if you will. I don't know. And of course his eyebrows. So for the dorsal fin, you can obviously grab a dark blue, but I really like to try and use up all of my paints that I have out. And these mix so well, so I'm literally just going to take Blueberry Punch and Black Paws, and I'm just going to mix them together. And it's going to give me the perfect dark blue shade for the outline. Now I have switched to the one and only famous Sturdy Boy brush, my fave. He's just amazing. Yeah, just look at him in all of his glory. Like, what? Now I get asked all the time, like, what is the best brush for this? What is the best brush for that? And of course, there are brushes that are made for certain things. But I always say to people, try out different brushes because it honestly is personal. And what works for someone might not work for you and vice versa. But for me, Sturdy Boy is the best. And if you agree, let me know in the comments. How is this going so smoothly? Like, there's been no mistakes so far. We're on a roll. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is the shading. And I'm going to do this by actually taking that brownie orange mix that we used to outline with. And I'm literally just going to add some glass slipper top coat to it. And it's just going to make it translucent. It's just going to be the perfect colour for doing Flounder's shade. So if you look at the image, you'll see the darker areas. There's some on his forehead, right where his hair would be creating a shadow. There's also some down the bottom, which would technically be like underneath his belly. And look how soft that is. It's just, you just can't go wrong with this. And if you do, you could just blend it out, but that's like the perfect colour. Now, if you're thinking, oh, that looks a bit harsh, I like to literally apply all of my shaded areas first. Then I'm going to wipe my brush with a dry lint-free wipe and I'm going to tap all of those lines out to soften them. Now, don't forget the eye whites. I know it is a super tiny flounder, but you can do this. You're just going to take She's So Fine and you're just going to, with the end of the brush, and look at that. I'm telling you, it's all about the little details for me, and that just makes it. So as you can see, the other nails have like some sparkles and waves in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and add those in. So I just used that light blue that we created and I actually just mixed it with a bit of glass slipper top coat just so it wasn't so harsh. Now taking my brand new Thicky Mickey brush, this is really good for applying paint in like larger areas, but they're too small to use a gel brush. So I'm going to use the glitter that I used in my last video and it just makes the sea sparkle. Look at the difference. So we're going to use the one and only glass slipper top coat, and this is my favorite part of every set. I'm sure you're the same. This top coat is amazing, trust me. It is so easy to apply, you're going to love it. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in the lamp for a full minute because I always do that when I'm finished. And look at this nail set. But before you go, you have got to see my 2021 Little Mermaid nails and compare them to this. I mean, say less. But guys, how easy did this tutorial go? Like, nothing went wrong. I have just done a tutorial in half an hour, huh? Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope that you followed along, and please tag me if you do recreate this set. I would love to see it if you have joined in with this tutorial. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comments what Disney tutorial you want to see next. The Vibrant Vibes collection is available right now. I will leave a link below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.